Welcome back. Previously, I had discussed with you the word idha, which means when. Now, we always know that the Arabic words, just like some of the other languages, would have multiple usage and meanings. Now, the word idha could also be used for surprise, shock, and astonishment or even amazement. Now, I can say that I heard the knock on my door and I opened. To my surprise, I found a soldier with the gun. So convey meanings like this in Arabic language, the word to be used is the word idha. Before we bring forth several examples from our book, the Logo, and also day in, day out use of the word idha for surprise, let's first look into the Quran and see how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has used the word idha to show surprise and shock. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala conveyed to us the conversation between him and Musa, Prophet Musa alayhi salam, Moses, by saying that Allah asked him that وَمَا تِلْكَ بِيَمِينِكَ يَا Musa. This is in Surah Taha. And what is that in your right hand, O Moses? He says, Hiya asaya. It is indeed my staff, my stick. Atawakkau alayha. I lean on it. وَأَهُشُّ بِهَا عَلَى غَنَمِي. And I use it to cut down leaves for my flocks, for my sheep. وَلِيَ فِيهَا مَآرِبُ أُخْرَى. And I have other purposes which I use it for. قَالَ أَلْقِهَا يَا Musa. It's at this point Allah commanded him saying, throw it down, O Moses. فَأَلْقَاهَا. Moses obeyed this command and he threw down his stick. فَإِذَا هِيَ حَيَّةٌ تَسْعَى. Then surprisingly, it turned out to be a mighty hayyatun, to be a snake which is in motion. A snake in motion. Look at the word فَإِذَا. Then suddenly it becomes hayyatun tas'a, a moving snake. In another verse, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says فَأَلْقَى عَصَاهُ. He threw his stick. فَإِذَا هِيَ ثُعْبَانٌ مُبِينٌ. Then it is at that point it became a manifest serpent. So can you see? فَإِذَا هِيَ بَيْضَاءُ لِلنَّاظِرِينَ. He also brought out his hand. Then suddenly it became a whitish substance, as in the hand became so whitish for the watchers, for the observers, for those who are looking at him, for the beholders. So look at the way Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has used the word idha to show sudden happening, shock, and even surprise. فَإِذَا. So now I can say خَرَجْتُ فَإِذَا جُنْدِيٌّ بِالْبَابِ. I went out, then suddenly I saw a soldier at the door. Do you understand? Then suddenly a soldier was at the door. So I wasn't expecting to see a soldier in front of my door. But while I went out, maybe I had a knock, then I went out. فَإِذَا أَنَا بِالْجُنْدِي. Then here I was with a soldier. So the word idha here is called idha al-fujaiya. The surprise idha. The idha of shock. The idha of sudden occurrence. And we have a lot of examples to see in this book using the word idha. One thing I should point out to you is that the idha of fujaiya is usually accompanied with fa. That's why you always hear فَإِذَا هِيَ حَيَّةٌ تَسْعَى. فَإِذَا هِيَ بَيْضَاءٌ لِلنَّاظِرِينَ. So فَإِذَا. So the fa'un will be accompanied to it. Another example I can give to you is for me to say دَخَلْتُ الْغُرْفَةَ فَإِذَا حَيَّةٌ عَلَى السَّرِيرِ. I entered the room and surprisingly a snake was on the bed. Can you see فَإِذَا? Idha of shock. One thing I should point out to you is that this idha of fujaiya, which is the idha of surprise and shock, is usually accompanied by fa. That's why you see فَإِذَا هِيَ حَيَّةٌ فَإِذَا جُنْدِيٌّ فَإِذَا هِيَ بَيْضَاءُ لِلنَّاظِرِينَ. So it is accompanied by fa. Another thing is that this idha does not begin a sentence. You cannot say فَإِذَا جُنْدِيٌّ بِالْبَابِ. Surprisingly, no. You must have said something before using it. Let's take it head on. We have فَإِذَا هُوَ قَرِيبٌ. This was a statement used by one of the students in the passage which we have read, where he said, كُنَّا نَظُنُّهُ بَعِيدًا. We were thinking that it was far. He was thinking that the examination was far. فَإِذَا هُوَ قَرِيبٌ. But here it is very near. هذه إذا الفجائية. He says this word إذا is called the إذا of surprise, إذا of shock. وَتُفِيدُ وُقُوعَ أَمْرٍ غَيْرِ مُتَوَقِّعٍ. And this either indicates it is used for a matter or something which one never expected, for an unexpected event. تدخل على الجملة الاسمية. This either is usually introduced into a nominal sentence. ويجوز الابتداء بالنكرة بعدها. And it is also permissible for you to begin with an indefinite word after the word either. لا تأتي إذا الفجائية في أول الكلام. Note that this either does not begin a sentence or a statement. ها أمثلة. Take more examples for إذا الفجائية. Number one, we have دخلت الفصل. I entered into the class. فإذا مدير الجامعة جالس. And surprisingly, the principal, or surprisingly the VC, as we call it in Nigeria here, the vice chancellor or the principal, the director of the university is sitting. Number two, we have دخلت الغرفة. I entered the room. فإذا حية على السرير. Surprisingly, a snake was on the bed. خرجت من البيت. I went out of the house. فإذا صديق بالباب. And surprisingly, a friend was at the door. ظننتك مدرسا. I thought you are a teacher. فإذا أنت طبيب. And surprisingly, you are a doctor. وفي التنزيل في قصة موسى عليه السلام. And in the Quran, in the story of Prophet Musa, Allah says, فَأَلْقَى عَصَاهُ. He threw his stick. فَإِذَا هِيَ ثُعْبَانٌ مُبِينٌ. And suddenly, surprisingly, it was a manifest serpent. وَنَزَعَ يَدَهُ. And he removed his hand. فَإِذَا هِيَ بَيْضَاءُ لِلنَّاظِرِينَ. And surprisingly, it became whitish for the beholders. So we can see. So from this lesson, you have seen how to use the word either. And firstly, I've made you know that this either is different from the either we have taught before. That this either is not either al-dharfiyya. This either is called either al-fujaiyya, the surprising either. And this word is usually introduced into a nominal sentence, which is a jumlatul ismiyya. And this either is usually accompanied by fa. So you say fa either. And again, this either is used to show surprise. So, and lastly, this either does not begin a statement or a sentence. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to grant us understanding. Any question you have, drop it in the comment section, and inshallah we shall provide answer to that if we know. Make sure you like, share with your friends, and drop a comment in the comment section. Do not forget to hit on the join button below to join our channel membership to get exclusive channel members content like members only quiz, members only posts, behind the scenes, and a lot of content that you're going to get for the pay you are going to give. Until we meet, jazakumullahu khairan. Wassalamu alaikum.